What's up, Tim Sykes here. In this video, we're gonna talk about how I made over $50,000 thanks to one specific technique. Stick around, you're gonna love it. What's up? So I had to, give you that little intro just to pump you up because I'm freaking pumped up. I made nearly $100,000 this week alone, nearly $150,000 in 2 weeks. A lot of it is because of one specific tool, one specific technique. Click the link below. I'm gonna have one big link below so that you understand this is what you need to use every single day in this hot market. It is the StocksToTrade Breaking News tool. It is breaking news left and right, just a few seconds or a few minutes before the news gets disseminated amongst the day trader mob. I'm also going to post another video just going over like how I've made so much in the past 2 weeks. Not because I'm doing anything different, but because a lot of people are locked in their homes, quarantined, staying home, losing their jobs, needing ways to make money, trading, creating this ridiculous boom that we're seeing with penny stocks and day trading. And I'm so grateful for it. But you can get ahead of that crowd because that crowd is very untrained, non-meticulous. Leave a comment underneath this video saying, I will be meticulous. I will be meticulous. 4 words, because when you think like that, when you trade like a sniper, when you're meticulous and not chasing hot stocks, not chasing alerts or big spikes from, other people who hear about it first, but when you actually see the news first before the day trading mob sees it, you have an advantage, okay? And this is how, literally on just a few trades this week alone, I made over $50,000 because of this tool. And this tool costs hardly anything compared to the upside. And I didn't even capture all of the upside. I'll give you one example, DGLY. They were announced that they were this one, I think it was Kansas City. Forgive me about the city. I mean, I did a lot of trades. There's a lot of cities in the news right now, but one city said that they're gonna order $2.5 million worth of body cameras for their cops. The cameras shown were DGLY cameras. DGLY, if you know stock market history, was a great supernova a few years ago when police brutality was in the news. Now it's spiking again. The breaking news tool caught that. I banked from basically the low 2s to the mid 2s. It actually went to 3 that day, and the next day to 6. I sold way too soon, but I made a few $1,000s. My biggest win this week, and the biggest win using the breaking news tool, and we'll show you a screenshot of this. It's actually pretty crazy. SSFT, in an SEC filing, announced that they were working with Google on their interactive learning product. And Google working with, literally at the time, it was like a 15-cent stock. That doesn't happen, okay? And this isn't just like a BS press release that a lot of these small companies say like, oh, we're working with a big company, but like the big company isn't really named. They're not really working with a big company. Maybe they signed up to the big company's reseller program. It's not a legitimate partnership. We still don't know all the details of this, but when there's an SEC filing, which is a legal filing and not a press release yet, that gets people excited. That gets the stock moving. The breaking news tool spotted it. I think the screenshot, I'll send it to my video guy so that he can post it. I believe that it was at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. The screenshot will show 7:15 a.m., which is California time. The breaking news tool is it's not just a normal news wire. It's run by 2X hedge fund traders. So they look at all the news and they basically curate and they show the best news. This was the best news. And they posted a few times like, Google and SSFT, here's the link to the SEC filing, here's why it matters. So it was big news. And I saw that right away because I've traded similar setups like this a few years ago. LQMT had a similar SEC filing with Apple. The stock tripled over 3 days. I sold too soon, I made 60%. On this one, I bought it at around 17 cents and I sold it at around 28 cents, I believe. So I made 40%, which is fantastic, right? Like that's very good, or 50%. But it actually went higher, but I wanted to, lock in the profits because on that one trade, I made nearly 20 grand. I kept dip buying it like it was choppy. I dip bought it a few times and overall I made roughly 30 grand on that one stock. But my biggest trade was because the breaking news saw the SEC filing, still no press release, but because of the breaking news, I bought and I was there. And then literally like within 10, 15 minutes, it started being spread around amongst all of the non-meticulous day trading mob, okay? If you've ever seen the movie Gladiator, remember like the mob of people like who were watching like the whole Gladiators, and it's like, they're reenacting famous battle scenes and they just want to see blood? That's kind of like what the day trading mob is like, and the Roman emperor just feeds them bread and they're all like poor as shit and they don't care because they're being entertained. And that's what's happening right now. And I'm not saying that they're being, thrown bread and they like blood. They're just crazy. Like they just want plays. So when a company like this, a small company, announces this, it's going to go to the mob. It's going to go to the barbarian horde. But you can be ahead. There was a little bit of time. There was an open window before the non-meticulous crowd saw the news. And that's frankly when I entered. And then a lot of the non-meticulous crowd entered like 26, 27, 28. The biggest buyers were at 30 cents, which is after the stock had doubled on the news. That is the time for those of us who were meticulous, were selling because we're like, whoa, this is good news, but this is a big move all inside of an hour. But a lot of the barbarian horde and the, people who don't know entry prices, they just get excited. They think that, a 15-cent stock can go to $1. Why not? Who cares about valuation? Well, you don't want to chase 100% move. So that's why I want you to be meticulous. That's why I want you to use the breaking news tool. That way you can get in before the non-meticulous traders. You can get out selling to the non-meticulous traders. There was a huge window of opportunity. I think it hit like 32 cents and I sold it at like 28. So I missed the top by a little bit, but I was just like, this is a huge win for me. I'm good. I'm out. And then I dip bought it again, like when it dropped down to like 21 and I sold it like at 25. Then I dip bought it again at 17. Then I just sold it today as I'm filming this at 24 the next day into the overnight gap up because that was just the first green day. A lot of these stocks spike for several days. It's not just about one spike. You usually get multiple spikes. So the breaking news tool alerted me to the first spike, which was the best. But then I'm also trading intraday panics and selling into bounces the next day, which was a fantastic trade, buying before the close on the afternoon of the first green day, on the dip in the 17s, holding, actually selling some before the close at 21, and then holding, selling the rest at 24, 25 this morning. So there is opportunity right now. And these are just two examples. I could go on. There were probably, over the course of the week, I want to say there were maybe a dozen examples. But between those dozen examples, that added up to over $50,000 plus of my profits from my $80,000 plus week. So more than half of my profits this week are due to this tool. It gives me an advantage because I see the news quicker than the dumb, non-meticulous day trading barbarian horde, whatever analogy you want to use. That is the reality of the situation. Now, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to demean anybody in saying that, but that's the reality of the situation, okay? You have people who are not skilled traders. They're not quick. You have a tool. You have access to this tool now if you choose to use it, where you can be quick, you can be meticulous, and you have an advantage. It's all public news, okay? It's not like we're trading inside information. The news has come out, but we're spotting it quicker because we're trained snipers. That's what it comes down to. Trade like a sniper, be meticulous, take advantage of this market opportunity. God bless America. God bless the world. God bless this opportunity if you utilize what you have right in front of you. It blows my mind. Some people are like, no, I don't want that tool. And you miss out on thousands or tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits because you're too cheap for a little tool. Invest in your education. Invest in your weaponry, okay? Like I say, trade like a sniper. Trading is a battlefield. This is the ultimate weapon right now. Click the link below. Leave a comment. Say, I love this market if you love it as much as I do.